Audio Marks coming to you from the CHM Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Jared, and Joe, the Four Horsemen of Wrestling Podcast. Four casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, Marks of all ages, are you ready? Because...
You know what? You just made the list.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Marks for Life podcast. I am CJ.
And I'm Jimmy.
And we're going to shoot from the hip because we got nothing planned for today.
Yeah, it was pretty abysmal this week. It was bad.
Well, the thing is, like, what we got to talk about, we could talk about Raw Reunion and the lack of stars that were made that night, or we could talk about SmackDown, which... Actually, I want to start with SmackDown. SmackDown had a great promo. I'm not sure if you saw it, with Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton.
I didn't get a chance to see it because I think I'm in the same boat as you. I think I'm not in love with WWE right now, and I think AEW is just more exciting to me, and I can't wait to watch that product in more detail.
Did you see that? All right, so Kofi Kingston challenged Randy Orton. He put up his title on the line. Kofi was brought up 10 years ago. When he boom dropped him through MSG, put him through a table.
Yeah, I know. That was the first Raw I ever watched, and that's when I fell in love with wrestling. Yeah, again,
He brought that up and said that after that, Randy Orton used his influence. Randy Orton's like, you're damn right I did. Because you weren't ready back then, and you aren't ready now. And, like, he's just going off on Kingston, saying, like, I just had to be me to become a multi-time world champion. You had to shake your ass, bathe in syrup, throw pancakes, and fake a Jamaican accent. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, this is easily the most hyped match on the card.
Obviously, very hyped. From what you're describing, and hopefully I'll actually get a chance to watch it.
Again, just watch clips. That's what I do nowadays.
I know. Like, I don't think I'm going to be in the boat of ever watching wrestling live at 8 p.m. ever again. I think that's just where I am right now in my life. I think my life is just too busy to do that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have a wrestling podcast, which we're supposed to be watching live wrestling.
Well, I mean, there's Hulu. That's the beauty about Hulu.
Yeah. But definitely looking forward to Kofi versus Randy. And also, Kevin versus Shane was announced, too, for the SummerSlam pay-per-view. If Kevin Owens loses, he's forced to quit WWE. So there is that. And then there was one more match that was made of... Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt are going to be on the card as well.
All right, so I'm more excited about Kofi, obviously, the Kofi-Randy Orton match. Shane and Kevin is probably going to be a fun one because I feel like that those two actually do have interestingly weird chemistry from what I remember from the past pay-per-views and shows.
Kevin's very brutal, and Shane's bumps are very brutal, so it just works.
So the symmetry of it is very good.
Yeah.
And then... a synergy, not symmetry. This is synergy. And, I think hopefully it might be the Demon, but then again, if it's the Demon, then it's kind of obvious that Bray Wyatt would lose, and I don't want that. So, like regular Finn Balor against the Fiend Bray Wyatt.
Did you see that promo? The Firefly Funhouse? Like, they were saying the puppets were fans of Finn Balor. Bray Wyatt was a huge fan. They loved Finn Balor, but the Fiend was not, like, a fan. And it was just really crazy how they did that, how they changed him into the Fiend and everything, and like how they're kind of creating the Fiend to be this separate character from Bray Wyatt.
Which, in all honesty, that's what the Demon is supposed to be. So
yeah,
which is strange, because you would think that because Finn Balor has been kind of perfecting the Demon character in NXT for probably a year before he got called up, and then barely used at all since he got called, only in like the recent, like, what was it? It was WrestleMania the last time we saw the Demon?
Saudi
Arabia was the last time we saw the Demon.
Yeah.
And the Demon won, which is the whole point of the gimmick. The Demon never loses.
Yeah.
But then you kind of get like Bray Wyatt and these dueling characters, and it's far more interesting, unfortunately, even though I love Finn Balor. Far more interesting than Finn Balor and even the Demon.
Well, they're thinking about cutting the Demon from Finn Balor.
That's a terrible idea, though.
But they're cutting it because Finn Balor's just not interesting on his own, and they feel like the Demon is overshadowing Finn Balor too much.
That's the point.
That's the problem.
No, but that's also the point. That's what they need to capitalize on.
But then,
Like, this is frustrating to me. So you have a gimmick that works very well, and you have an, unfortunately, just not interesting enough character. But that should be the character. It should be, oh, you can't get over without the demon, and it should be this dueling thing. It should be almost similar to what Bray Wyatt is doing. The difference being is that, you know, the normal Bray Wyatt character, I guess, which is the Firefly Funhouse, is more interesting, is also interesting to watch. And they should play into that. And I don't understand why they don't.
because Finn Balor's not interesting, period. That's the problem, because Finn Balor's not interesting, period. He's only interesting when he has the paint and the entrance. And they realize they have this great talent, but nothing else, you know.
But like they should build a story around that, and then build a. I don't know how. I feel like the creative powers that be, I would assume know. At least Finn Balor should know. It's his character after all. But for some reason,
that still imply that he even has a character.
That this is true. I'll give you that.
Yeah, he has no character. The only interesting thing about him is once every 4 months when he puts on the paint.
But
and then he doesn't break. Like, what would be cool is if you break out extra moves, like change up his moveset to be more intense as the Demon King to differentiate the personalities. But he doesn't. You know, people have said maybe turn him heel, put him up with the club to give him some more edge and more personality. Because right now, White Meat Babyface is not working.
It's not the club. It's the OC.
Whatever the fuck it's called. It's so stupid.
It's stupid.
But, like, you get what I'm saying? It's like,
no, I get what you're saying.
You know,
I get what you're throwing down.
I get that he should be more interesting, but he's not. And whatever WWE is doing, either put him Demon full time, which I don't think he's going to be able to.
No,
pull off.
I wouldn't put Demon full time. That's a terrible idea.
Cut the Demon persona so this way it doesn't.
Well, the demon. I think the way that they have the demon is fine. It should be within Finn Balor, like normal Finn Balor's character, to have like that conflict about the demon, and I don't understand why they don't do that. That's my question. Like, why don't they do that? Because that right there is a character. That right there is a story and a narrative, and you know, something interesting. But they're not doing that.
Yeah, but why would I watch TV for a guy who I'm not going to care about at all until he throws on some face paint?
Not to throw it back at you, but that's literally what Bray Wyatt's been doing, and yet it's amazing. So
Bray Wyatt's also been doing that for the Firefly Funhouse, and we didn't see the Fiend for weeks.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point exactly. And the point being is that the demon is not supposed to be an every time thing. Bray Wyatt, the character, should be like having this conflict with the demon, and then we don't really see the demon out like in the arena, in the ring, in like person until like the time is right, I guess.
Yeah,
and
but if
they've handled that part right, it's just they haven't handled Finn Balor right, and that's what's frustrating.
If you're comparing Bray Wyatt to Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt only comes out to the arena as the Fiend. He's only come out as that. In video promos, he's coming out as regular Bray Wyatt and stuff. You know, just to show that, like, you know, because like that's a nice contrast. You know, he only comes out to fight as the Fiend. Bray Wyatt, the Firefly Funhouse guy, I don't think he cares about fighting. He wants to just chill out and everything. It's the Fiend. It's him.
Yeah, I no, and I understand.
What is Finn Balor to the Demon King? Exactly.
I don't know. That's why they need to reboot. I think a better reboot for Finn Balor is a good idea. If that means like the demon needs to be sidelined for, I don't know, for a very long time, I think I would be personally okay with that. Honestly, because they need to work on Finn Balor. Mm-hmm. That's what's frustrating. Finn Balor is probably one of the most interesting characters that came out of NXT in that like post like Dusty era, you know, before like the Triple H era really began with like what is it, the with the Undisputed Era, I guess you could say, or like whoever.
No, Triple H was still there with Finn Balor.
No, I understand that, but like Finn Balor was there with like he's one of Dusty's kids too.
Well, the thing is, Triple H took over NXT around 2014.
Yeah, but Dusty
Finn Balor came in at the end. Dusty
didn't die until 2015. So anyone between 2014 and 2015, anytime between pre-2015, any one of those NXT people technically were Dusty's kids. Finn Balor qualifies as a Dusty kid.
Finn Balor qualifies as both.
Yes,
I'd say
I agree.
that.
He did.
You
I
know,
agree
because
that too.
same with Hideo Itami was like that. Not really Sami Zayn, more Kevin Owens. You know, I'd say the 2014 further was more Triple H because Triple H took over with that. Dusty was a huge part of it, and I'm going to 100% agree with that. But I feel like Triple H also had a lot of hands on NXT at that time as well.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
But regardless, you know, that still doesn't change the fact that Finn Balor, while on the main roster, has been floundering. He has been floundering. He has literally no character. And the thing
Agreed.
is, if you notice this, he has not picked up any big wins unless throwing on the paint.
Well, again, that's part of the gimmick of the Demon separate from Finn Balor. The thing is that they need to play into that, and they never did, and that's what's frustrating. If they did, it might have been at least an interesting story. I don't know how well it would have been.
Well, like to pull it out every month on pay-per-view?
No. Like, how do I get to this? Well, if he was winning like a sub-tier title, and it wouldn't really matter if he got the big win. I mean, he would matter to keep the title on him, but it should be a constant conflict of every single time that Finn Balor puts on the paint that he becomes the Demon, that he only wins. Like that should because Finn Balor is technically the underdog. The Demon is not.
Well, then
And that should be like a dueling contrast. It's similar to what's going on with Bray Wyatt. It's not exact. It's just similar. The difference being is that there's no contrast yet. There's no like conflict between Bray Wyatt and the Fiend.
Well, the thing is, I liken Bray Wyatt and the Fiend to like Venom. They're both in contrast. They're both working together. It's like, you know what? It's fine. You know, I got this darkness. Cool. We're going to hang out. Chill. I'll let you out when you need to let off some steam and stuff. Finn Balor, it's like, how do I put it? He's not using the Demon correctly. That's how it's being portrayed on TV, because I'm going to throw this at you. So, Finn Balor faces Brock fucking Lesnar at Royal Rumble. Universal Championship on the fucking line. No Demon paint. But Bobby fucking Lashley is worth the Demon paint for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
So now I'm going to throw it back at you. So you just brought up Venom in that sense. And for those, he's a comic book character, but that's not important.
Yeah.
What is important, though, is that the Demon is supposed to be kind of this force that takes over Finn Balor. It's not supposed to be something that Finn Balor controls. That's what I'm getting at. It should be something that Finn Balor doesn't control, and it comes out at random times. And it would make sense, and then at some point there's like a conflict of like, you can't do it without the Demon. And then it kind of rolls off like that Peter Parker Spider-Man against Peter Parker Venom Spider-Man kind of duality. Now, if they did that, it would have been good.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, because I have no idea how they would have done it. But if, like,
right.
I'm sorry, I'm going on it.
Demon King Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the inaugural Universal Championship.
But he won, though.
Yeah, why the fuck wouldn't he do that with Brock? Brock is easily more dangerous than Seth.
If they built a story fucking around it where Finn Balor wanted to prove that he could do it against Brock Lesnar, then it would make sense. But it didn't because they don't have a
Let me list
story.
some people that he's thrown it out against instead of Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins.
Again.
Bray Wyatt.
Well, hold
multiple times.
Okay, all right.
AJ. Baron fucking Corbin. Andrade. Bobby Lashley with Leo Rush. But not Brock Lesnar. Like, I feel like that is the one time you should really use it. Not against fucking Baron Corbin or Andrade. Nah, you put it out against the Beast. But nah, you're going to be like, no, I'm going to be an extraordinary man. Like, you are an extraordinary dumbass. Like, seriously.
No. We're agreeing on one particular point. The difference that I think we're having is I'm thinking of it, they should have done it this way, and then it would have made sense to keep everything the way it was. That's where I'm coming from.
I'm coming going forward. Like,
yeah,
what
I
the
know.
fuck
That's
are you
what I'm
gonna
saying.
do?
Yeah, I know. That's maybe when Finn Balor goes on vacation, they could really okay, how are we really gonna do this Finn Balor thing?
Because obviously Finn Balor's an idiot.
Yeah, obviously.
Because he could tap.
I agree with you. How they're handling it is 100% correct.
Because
I'm not
obviously
disagreeing with you on
could
that.
tap into the Demon King for fucking Baron Corbin, but you can't tap into it for Brock Lesnar. Like, all right, I guess Brock Lesnar's more of a fucking threat. Like, oh my god, wow, that is so stupid. Like, you realize this?
No, I know it's stupid. I don't disagree with you on that. It's just they can't. They could have done something, and they chose actively not to, and that's what's frustrating.
Yeah. Who doesn't use like a demon to fight a beast? Who doesn't do that? Like, what a stupid Irishman. I am sorry, but like, you are obviously on some kind of alcohol. I don't know what kind of pub you went to right before the match, but you are an idiot for not doing that. And that's what bugs me about Finn Balor's character. They're portraying him as a dweeb, a doofus, a dumbass. You know, use the fucking demon. Be a demon. Be that D word. Not a dumbass, a doofus, a dweeb. Be a demon. Like, you have the power. Just fucking use it. It's like fucking He-Man. He says, I have the power, and becomes jacked as all hell, and then chops everyone's head off like Skeletor with his fucking Master Sword. Nah.
Now, hold up. Now, are you actually promoting a new gimmick for Finn Balor right now? Because I'm pretty sure you just did.
No. No. I'm not having Finn Balor say, I have the power, and turn into the fucking demon.
What if he did, though? What if he did?
He would be so much worse off.
Sorry, I just needed to point that out because it was such a ridiculous thing. I just needed to point that out.
But it makes sense.
Yes, it does. That's the problem. Oh, God. Can we get off the Finn Balor? Because I feel like we've...
Finn Balor needs to join the OC. I feel like that'll help him come back.
I agree.
It'll give him an edge.
They need to do that. And then have like a contention with like AJ later on, like in several months, probably in the WrestleMania season, because that would actually be good. And then after that, I have no fucking idea.
OC versus Undisputed Era?
I'd like that. But then again, like, would that be like during this time period and then the contention, or would it be post contention with either AJ or Finn out and then the Undisputed Era coming in? That's the question.
I don't know. I just want it for Survivor Series.
Yes, I want it badly too because the online Twitter beef is great.
All right.
What do you think of the OC as a name, the original club?
I think it's stupid.
Do you know that it's named after a reality show on MTV?
No.
Did you also know it was also named after a show on Fox?
No. No. I didn't. I was just like, what the fuck is the OC?
Well, it stands for Original Club.
I know that. I figured that out, but I'm
It's
like,
not-
this is so
it's-
stupid.
I think they're trying to really get into Bullet Club without saying the word bullet.
Well, thing is, Bullet Club's dead.
It's
Fuck you, Tamatanga.
Hey, I like him. Leave him alone. He hasn't done anything bad.
The only interesting thing about him is Haku.
Yeah, I know. That's the sad part.
And you love him, and you admitted that.
I do love him.
He's a little
he is,
bitch.
But he's a
Yo,
great wrestler.
Simon Miller will kick your ass. Did we ever talk about that? How cool that was?
No, we didn't.
Did you ever watch that?
I saw the initial like beef. What was it? It was online, and they were at like what was it? A party or something?
The Bullet Club block party.
Yeah,
No,
and then
that was
Simon-
building up for weeks on like What Culture.
No, I know that part as well. I know the story. I haven't seen the What Culture because I'm now cultaholic for life. But that's besides.
Oh,
the point.
I'm loving what I love it. I love Simon Miller. Simon
Miller's the best part of What Culture.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason why I would watch
But-
What Culture is because of Simon Miller.
Simon Miller, Adam Cleary. I enjoy Andy Murray, Adam Wilborn. I love Adam Nicholas because he just feels so polite and nice. Jules is cool. Phil is a little weird, but like, so I was watching an interview. Again, I'm gonna keep shouting out Chris Van Vliet until you fucking watch him. Have you watched him yet?
No.
Fucking watch him. Listen to him because he has podcasts now. It's great.
All right, I'll subscribe. What's it called?
The Chris Van Vliet Show.
Chris Van Vliet Show. All right.
Yeah.
I'll look for it while you describe the story.
So he's interviewing Simon Miller, and Simon Miller literally goes, "No one told Haku that it was a work. Haku was legitimately going to kill me." You do not know how terrifying it is to be chased by that man. I thought I was gonna die. And that's Simon Miller with all of his charisma. He's just like, I was going to die if Tamatanga did not hold him back and be like, it's a work. It's a work. Like, imagine that. Imagine getting chased by Haku.
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
That's like if you were squaring up against Enzo Amore and failing utterly. Sorry, Joey Janela.
But like, oh man, I've just been listening to a lot of podcasts this week. Yeah, that's him.
And subscribe. Which, by the way, that's a free buyout for Chris Van Vliet, even though there's probably no one listening to this podcast.
But, like-
we will support you, Chris Van Vliet.
Oh, he's so good. He had a lot of interviews recently. He's done who is it? He has an interview with Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, Joey Janela, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy.
Hornswoggle and Dolph Ziggler.
Swoggle was good. Swoggles was really good. Dolph Ziggler's was okay. I highly recommend the Jungle Boy, the Luchasaurus, a lot of the AEW guys because they offer a huge perspective on it all, and how their lives have changed.
Right.
Kip Sabian's was really good too.
All right, so which ones do you recommend?
I'll show you afterwards, but
All right, fair enough.
there's a lot of good ones on there that he's uploaded, especially the Simon Miller one. The Simon Miller one's hilarious. But there was also a podcast I listened to. I listened to Chris Jericho's. He did an interview with MJF.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw the Squared Circle article. So
MJF's fucking amazing.
I will.
I fucking
I'm not gonna
hate
lie.
him.
I'm gonna resubscribe to Talk Is Jericho because I did for a very long time, and I got bored with all of his non-wrestling related stuff, unless it was with cool people.
He
But-
did a really cool one recently with a guy who releases government information.
Oh yeah, he does. I like some he does really good interviews with people like that, and I kind of like those. But some of the musician ones are kind of boring to me. I mean, I like certain ones. I liked he did one with the lead singer of Slipknot a couple years ago, and that one was good. I like that one.
I never really was into the music part, but I love the stuff when he does wrestlers,
Yeah, wrestlers
or
are good.
whatchamacallit, when he did one with the movie reviews.
Yeah,
Those were really good. Or
I do like his podcast. I didn't fall out because I didn't like the stuff or like him. It's just it got to be too much because I was listening to other stuff.
yeah.
Although speaking of other podcasts, I'm very sad about this one. Colt Cabana, amazing Colt Cabana, is actually stopping his.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I'm very sad because that was the first podcast I ever listened to was Colt Cabana's, and it was the Punk ones. Now I know the Punk one, I understand his story with Punk was a big falling out, and I understand that, and
Yeah.
that makes complete sense. But if you don't if you're just getting into podcasting, go to Colt Cabana's old stuff on either YouTube or even on the podcasting feeds and find the Punk interviews because those were really good. Those were fantastic because the Punk ones are by far the best ones.
Oh yeah.
Objectively, I know that it's it's toxic to talk about it between the relationship between those two, but they are very good.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that got me started in my love of podcasting. So yeah,
I got mine. I got Van Vliet and Jericho's podcast. Those are pretty good.
yeah. So I'm gonna resubscribe to Jericho's too.
Yeah, he had some good ones recently. He had one with Dave Bautista that was really good, where they talked about his movie career and everything like that, and how he didn't think he'd actually be in Avengers Endgame. They didn't think they were going to put him in there.
Was it because of the way he acted with James Gunn?
Yeah.
Really? That was a big contentious thing.
Well, no, he just didn't know.
Oh, he just didn't know.
No one told him. He's like, I have no idea. I have no clue if I'm actually in the movie or not. But he was. Spoiler. All right, let's talk about Raw Reunion. What a shit show, for the most part.
Cena's was good up until Rikishi.
Yeah.
And then we got news that we'll talk about afterwards involving that.
Yes.
24/7
championship was great.
I saw the stuff online. It was great.
Pat Patterson,
Pat
then
Patterson.
Gerald Briscoe, then Kelly, then Candice Michelle, then Alundra Blaze, and then the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, bought his first singles title. He bought it. And then Drake...
That belt is fantastic. I love that belt.
Yeah. And then Drake Maverick got the belt back, and then Truth took the belt, his car, and his wife. Oh my God.
I love his Twitter. Have you seen some of the Twitter things that Drake Maverick has done for the...
Yeah, Drake Maverick's
He's
been
great.
like, have you seen my belt? Also, wife is missing. Oh my God.
I absolutely love it. It's great.
This belt's only been out for since what, May?
I love the creative freedom that this belt has given to people. It's brought a new life. I understand there's certain kayfabe things that don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, if the whole show is a shit show and this is the only entertainment that we're going to be getting, is that such a bad thing that kayfabe is dead with that belt? I don't think so. I think it's great.
Well, the surprise roll-up is the most devastating finishing maneuver of all time. So it's
I'm still waiting for an inanimate object to win. I'm glad that women actually won this belt.
I'm
But
still mad it wasn't Carmella.
I'm still mad it wasn't. I'm pretty sure they're leading up to that. That's
They
the next
have
thing
to.
they have to lead up to is Carmella stealing it
100%.
from R-Truth.
Oh, 100%. I feel like that'd be really good.
I love the fact that Comic-Con, it was
Drake Maverick
Jake
with
Maverick
the
hunting it down, and then the Hurricane showed up out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
tried to steal the belt.
I thought it was great.
Oh, man. This is going to be the thing that puts Truth into the Hall of Fame.
I'm not mad about that. That's like, because like what this belt does, and this is something I guess we made fun of because it just looks like a horribly looking belt, but it's give creative freedom to like wrestlers that we never see and never
Yeah.
expect, and that's a good thing. Like Drake Maverick is like the second person to win as many title belts as R-Truth, followed by I think Jinder Mahal or something like that. But like those are guys like we just wouldn't expect. Now I'd like to see a little bit more diversity because even though I love Drake Maverick and his pursuit for the 24/7, definitely throw in a Carmella. Definitely throw in some other people that we just normally don't expect. I want to see like a top guy win it just for
That's what I was
shits and
thinking.
giggles.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really funny if like, what is it? Someone really annoying. Like they should build up like a story between like someone annoying like Seth Rollins for like a good straight month. Then that guy, like whether it be like a Drake Maverick or like someone else that's equally as annoying, wins the belt, then gets knocked out, and then you just see like Seth Rollins just walk around, does like the double take, like, is there anyone around? And then puts like a foot on, and then there's a ref just pops out of nowhere and be like, what? 1, 2, 3, and then Seth Rollins becomes a 24/7 just for like a little bit.
Yeah. No.
Then there's an actual bedroom scene where, like, at the end of the bedroom scene, then Becky comes up on top of Seth, and then she becomes a 24/7 belt winner.
I don't know. I think they need to do something with the Seth Rollins character, though, because it's becoming an annoying little bitch.
Yeah, especially on Raw Reunion. That DX NWO, it was bad. And Club, it was really bad.
Well, technically, that spot was meant for Ricochet.
It was, but just putting Seth there, though, was bad. Like, regardless of how you feel about the... Like, I understand putting Ricochet in that spot. That makes a lot of sense. You put in baby faces with a whole bunch of other guys. But I think it just would have made more sense because literally the last Raw Reunion that we went to, at least, at Raw 25, they had the Club and DX together in the same ring.
Well, it's the Click.
Well, the Click, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's how they're portraying him now.
It doesn't matter.
But,
like, honestly, they could have... But, like, that should have been the Club spot if it wasn't going to be Ricochet's. In my belief. Like, I understand they're supposed to be, like, a heel stable, but...
No, you know, pretty much the OC should have kicked that crap out of the Click, but no one was medically fucking cleared to take any bumps. No one. Meanwhile, Shawn Michaels took a bump literally, like, the next night, courtesy of Dolph Ziggler. I'm like, I could have went to AJ Styles. I could have... You know, Triple H could take a fucking bump.
Well, I think he was probably the only one that could have been medically cleared anyway.
And Shawn Michaels took a bump the next night.
Well, and Shawn Michaels, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, all the other people... Like, I believe that Shawn Waltman could have taken the bump.
Shawn Waltman definitely.
Now, Razor Ramon and Diesel, on the other hand, I don't know.
No, I would have had...
And I'm pretty sure, what's his face? Road Dogg. Road Dogg definitely could have taken a bump.
Maybe. He looked really bad.
But Diesel and Razor Ramon, on the other hand, they definitely couldn't.
I would have
know.
had Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson stick up to them with chairs just so they would stay back while AJ Styles is kicking the crap out of everybody.
That could take a bump.
Yeah, exactly. And then AJ Styles and Triple H, we get that at Survivor Series or a Saudi Arabia show, because why the fuck not?
And then to actually spice things up, you've thrown Finn Balor in there and then betrays Triple H. That would have been good. Like, see, WWE, you should hire us, at least the two of us, and get rid of every other shitty writer you have, because clearly...
No, please keep Paul Heyman. Although, please
Well,
keep
Paul Heyman's not a writer, though. He's just an executive producer for...
I don't know.
Between the execs, so he has nothing to do with it except for
I'm just
managing
saying that,
creative
like,
to talk to Vince.
that was a huge thing, that they hired a lot of Raw Reunion guys and no one could take a bump, so no one could put anyone over. Except for the man himself, Mick fucking Foley.
God, we love Mick. But
Going back to Bray Wyatt, he decided to choke out Mick with the mandible claw, the move that Mick made famous, and you just hear Mick Foley go, ah, like just
he sold
screaming.
it well. He sold it well.
Yeah.
But also going back to just a quick comment that you made kind of beforehand. You said a lot of Raw guys came back. Were they Raw guys?
Yeah.
Well, really, like...
Alundra Blaze was on Raw.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
you would consider her, like, a Raw superstar? Because I don't.
Yeah.
I consider her, like WCW, like...
She was
honestly.
on Raw. She was the WWF Women's Champion for, like, years. before going to WCW.
Yeah, but I really remember her for WCW though. Like, because that moment made her career. Like,
Well, yeah, but she also led the women's wrestling during the 90s.
true.
So
and then you had like the NWO, which wasn't Raw. You had Hogan,
well,
not Raw. even
Kevin
though-
Nash and Scott Hall were Raw.
No,
Yes,
Diesel
they
and
were.
Razor Ramon were not. I know, like that. I'm just putting it out there.
They still came out of Diesel and Razor Ramon, I believe, if I remember correctly. I don't even fucking remember, but like
Like, because that
they
it
were
just doesn't
still
matter.
they're still Raw. DX is Raw. Hogan.
Not Raw. As much as you want to put out like his 2005 to 2006 or 7 run, that was terrible. Don't tell me that was.
Man, I don't fucking know. He was also there in 02.
Well, yeah, because that was.
NWO Hogan.
Yeah, but
There you go. There's some more Raw for you.
I don't qualify that as Raw.
Look, man, it's not like Evolution showing up on SmackDown.
True. I give you that. I'll give you that.
Ric Flair, Stone Cold, Alicia fucking Fox for some reason, Santino. Santino.
What did you think? What did you think of that Santino spot?
I'm very proud that Santino is considered to be a legend. I'm very happy about that. I'm mad we didn't get to see Santino win the 24/7 championship.
Yeah, I know, right? You would think that would have been perfect to put Santino over.
Yeah, but it's all right.
And then what did you think of the end of Raw with Stone Cold?
Lackluster.
It's really upsetting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Like, Stone Cold is supposed to be the best part of that whole thing.
yeah, but he didn't even give anyone a fucking stunner.
No, but he drenched Lillian Garcia in fucking beer.
That wouldn't be her first time. I'm just saying, Lillian's pretty much one of the boys. I'm pretty sure she's been drenched in beer before. Yeah.
Was she in the ring when no, never mind. Forget it.
All right.
No, I was thinking of the milk thing, but that's not beer. My apologies.
Yeah.
Nope, I was being stupid.
But that was also only the alliance. Anyways, with the milk.
Yes, but wasn't she in the middle of the ring too? No? All right. I'm just
Stone Cold was in the middle of the ring.
Yes, I know.
And then there was another woman. I think it was like Tori Wilson
Yeah, I'm trying to think
or
of like
Stacy Keibler, one of the two.
I'm trying to remember the woman and I don't remember.
It's either Tori or Stacy, one of the two.
All right.
But yeah, Raw reunion. They realistically should have like. First off, I don't even know if it was a good idea just to bump ratings. But Mick Foley coming back to put someone over is always nice. I feel like they could have put over more people though.
And they could have done more, honestly, with the 24/7. Like, as much as the 24/7, I think, was probably one of the biggest highlights of that night. They could have done a lot more. Like, I would put on some like crazy like title wins. Like, even if it was Hogan, and I have like an abysmal feeling about Hogan, and as much as probably you do, I don't know. You could probably not care about it, but like if Hulk Hogan won the 24/7, I think that would be a big deal for the 24/7 belt. It's fucking Hulk Hogan. It doesn't matter how. I mean, at that point in like the night, I don't think it really matters like socially, like how toxic technically Hogan is, but that still fucking matters.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I hate these reunion spots because they really don't do enough to put over current talent. Case in point,
if they had half the people and more time with them to like really prep them,
if they just had half the fucking people,
yeah,
and if the people were willing to, or the powers that be were willing to put them to have them put people over.
Yeah, like if they plan these reunion shows like 6 months in advance to get everyone like not into ring shape, but just well enough to take a fucking bump, that would have been better.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot better.
It's like Smackville. Did you hear about this? The reason why they're trying to do Smackville?
I kind of did. I didn't read. I saw an article. I didn't read the article, but I've heard about it.
They want to see how many ticket sales and network views they can get just by announcing a show a couple weeks in advance to combat AEW.
I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. Like, Evolve is one thing because that's like a completely different entity. But if this is going to be just a show that they're putting on just to go against... What show are they putting up again? Is this going to be the one for...
No, they're just testing it.
No, that's a terrible idea. I'm not doing... No, sorry. Turned off by that idea.
They are...
Totally turned off.
They did release the network packages, I think. The network tier packages.
Yes, they did. And I'm glad that they listened because that's a smart idea. That was a smart idea, and surprising enough, that did take into effect in their stock numbers recently.
Yeah,
because I own a stock of it. It's not good, but I own a stock of it, and I noticed it, like because they added that tier system.
Yeah,
which is a good idea.
Because like the $15 a month now, because they did add a higher package than the $9.99, get you indie wrestling apparently.
So it would give you Evolve, and what else would they give you?
Probably Progress.
Ooh, that might be worth it.
Because
That might.
I don't know, I'm just trying to think like that would be like the biggest promotion they would have.
Outside of Evolve, yeah, probably. That I'm not gonna lie, Progress would be pretty big.
And it would help with the UK scene too.
It would help. It would help with a lot of the UK scene. Progress is really fun to watch. I love watching UK wrestling, or I did for a while, and then I stopped because wrestling has just been so abysmal to me, except for AEW stuff.
AEW still got that like nice.
It's got
fresh
that nice
feeling.
sheen. It's got that nice sheen. It's got that fresh car smell. That's what AEW is. And then you told me an interesting thing about a match that they announced.
Yes, they did. They announced Darby Allin versus Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc at All Out.
And why did they do that?
So, when I was watching The Road to All Out, which again I love how they're doing this just to promote new shows and everything, like try and give it build up without the TV. So Darby was mad that he lost to Shawn Spears. Jimmy Havoc was mad that Darby Allin took the pin, and Darby's mad at Jimmy. He's like, "Where were you? We're supposed to be a fucking team." And they're starting to beat the crap out of each other. And Joey Janela shows up. I was like, I'm 0-2 because of you guys. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? And then they all start beating the crap out of each other.
So essentially what you're saying is that they finally have a story going into their next major pay-per-view before TV.
They have another story. It's great.
Fantastic!
You know-
Thank you. A criticism that I've been hearing fucking over and over again for AEW is no story, no story. Now you've got a story that makes sense.
There's been plenty of stories.
Well, to be fair, like a lot of people, to the communities that I've seen online have been saying there's barely any story for it. I know that's not true. You know that's not true. It's just these other people like refuse to watch anything outside of like whatever AEW puts on like fucking
I'd say there's
BR Live.
continuity.
There's continuity.
There's a lot of continuity.
And I like that.
I
think we gave a lot of praise to that from when we talked about Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah, Fight for the Fallen. Let's look at it this way. Kip Sabian earned a match against Hangman Adam Page because Kip Sabian won the first ever singles match at Double or Nothing. The 6-man tag match. Shawn Spears and Darby Allin have some fucking beef going on because Shawn Spears stole Darby Allin's spotlight. Jimmy Havoc and MJF have beef dating back from Double or Nothing and Fyter Fest. Sammy Guevara is just a fucking dick. Joey Janela, just kind of pissed. He's just kind of there. They're trying to promote it. And you can't have MJF and Shawn Spears on the same fucking team because they will literally kill each other.
And they almost did during that match.
Well, yeah, that's why Sammy Guevara was the buffer. And they needed another person, so they threw Joey Janela in there. Adam Page is on a roll right now, which I actually have some more information on that whole situation too. And, there's just a lot of story and continuity going. Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears is probably going to be announced soon. Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers, which has been the biggest feuds going into the television deal. Kenny Omega. Some of them don't have as much story. Other ones are just like they're building off of it and stuff, which is really good. I like how they're starting to really start tying events and everything. So, what the thing is with Adam Page, he wasn't supposed to originally be in this spot right now. And neither Chris Jericho.
All right.
It was supposed to be Pac versus Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship.
I like how they changed it.
Well, they had to because of Pac.
Well, I think there's also news on Pac. I think he's all good now for...
Yeah, because he dropped the title at Dragon Gate.
I also heard some interesting news about Dragon Gate as well. I don't know if you saw this.
What happened?
So apparently Triple H has been going around to Japan and eyeing some other talent and promotions out there. And guess which promotion was it?
Dragon Gate? Who are some stars from Dragon Gate?
There was one that in the article. I forgot who it was.
Because I know a couple of people that have come from there, Pac included. You have Apollo Crews, you have Tozawa. Those are the only three actually I remember from Dragon Gate off the top of my head. But yeah, Pac dropped it. It looks like he's coming back to AEW. But yeah, Pac was supposed to be Page, which I think I would have been better with. I would have been happier with. And then Kenny Omega beating Chris Jericho. Because I feel like because of this whole Pac situation, they kind of screwed up their booking. Because it makes sense to have Kenny as their first
Well, I'm glad
champion.
it wasn't like a contentious reason. I'm glad that it was like for a legitimate kind of like business reason.
Yeah.
Because when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, there's already beef going on between Pac and AEW, and then you read the article and you're like, oh, okay, it's for like a legitimate business
Yeah.
reason.
But it makes sense though why they last minute made the Casino Royale Battle Royal a shot for the first ever championship, which kind of sucks though, because it's like they put
But
it.
that just means that once like All Out is done and then you start the TV thing, you have a TV storyline like going forward. Is probably going to be Adam Page, the champ, against Pac.
That would be good.
Which would be objectively good. And I think if that holds up between the fall season for wrestling and if WWE has nothing to really put in that same spotlight, then you basically have like a reason to watch AEW on TNT.
And then there's
nights.
Moxley. We don't know where he's gonna be. Moxley could be Page's first challenger for all we know. But there's a lot to be going for it. Yeah, but like I don't know. I'm enjoying the continuity in how losses and wins really matter. Because if I'm on a 6-man, a 3-person team, and one of them loses, I'm gonna be pissed at them. Like, why'd you losses are very, very important in the early days of AEW, and they made that very apparent. They throw that a lot in their build-up. Like, Lucha Brothers, not a single win until Fight for the Fallen. Young Bucks are still undefeated in AEW. Cody Rhodes was coming in with a 1-1. They even mentioned it with Kenny Omega. He was like, oh, I'm searching for my first ever singles win in AEW. So, they really make it matter, which is really good. It's a refreshing change of pace. So, trying to think. You want to take a break, or do you want to...
No, this is a good spot.
All right.
Unfortunately, sorry guys, like it's been that like keeping up to date with WWE, it's kind of boring. Like we're sorry that we can't bring up to the same level that we used to, and we'll try to do better for you guys. And we're considering
doing an every other week thing because of this period. Especially...
Who knows if we might do like just AEW specials if it's consistently good every single week, which. Between me and you, which I think we're both going to be watching AEW stuff.
I'd be watching AEW more than Raw and SmackDown, because Raw and SmackDown, I remember watching it live for like the first time in months. It was a couple of months ago, actually. It was like the first time in a very long time.
Yeah,
and they started with
ago. And I started a couple weeks ago. Well, you go on.
It was like a 40-minute promo. I'm like, where's the wrestling? This is, and that's the thing. They just start off with nothing but promos, and we don't even get any wrestling, and that's the hard part.
If anything, I think we'll probably keep up with NXT because that's like objectively the only good thing WWE gives out. I mean, I haven't watched it recently. I can't tell you what's been going on.
They did announce they did announce a couple of matches
for what is it?
The special. So it looks like it's going to be well, they didn't announce it yet, but it looks like Velveteen Dream's going to defend in a triple threat match, I believe, against Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne.
Yeah, so this might be... I
don't say it's match of the night.
No, it's not going to be match of the night, but I would say, like, if Velveteen Dream is going to lose the belt, it might be this one.
I would say so, yeah.
If he doesn't, that's great, but
He's held it for a long time, though.
Yeah, I know.
At least 8 months.
So yeah, I would be pretty surprised, like,
or close to 8 months, something like that.
I would say like, yeah, now's a good time for him to drop that belt and probably pursue the bigger belt before he goes to, the main roster.
And then they also announced it looks like Killian Dane is on a collision course with Matt Riddle. I know you're very excited about that one.
I like that one.
That one's gonna be good. And then another 2 out of 3 falls match between Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole.
For the belt?
Yep, for the belt.
For the belt.
But they announced their own stipulations for each fall.
What do you mean? So like, after that fall, they add another stipulation to the match, or?
It's like they get to pick what each fall is, what type of match it is.
Oh, that's cool. I like that idea.
So... I want you... All right, so the first 2 falls, one was decided by Johnny, the other was decided by Adam. The third one, I believe, is not... I'm not sure if it's Regal or Triple H, but if it is necessary, the third one will be decided at the event, if necessary.
Which it probably will.
It
but-
probably will, but we don't know that.
All right.
So,
I think it would be cool if they did like, what is it?
well, guess which each person picked first. What kind of stipulation? What kind of match? Let me put it that way. What kind of match?
So it's automatically 2 out of 3 falls.
Automatically.
Automatically. One of them had to have picked Falls Count Anywhere. Because that
Okay.
would only make sense. Now, to who, I'm going to go with Adam Cole for Falls Count Anywhere.
Okay.
Am I correct? Or
No.
will you not tell? Okay, no. Was it Johnny? Or am I completely wrong?
We'll
on
just go
both
with
of them?
Johnny. Which one you picked for Johnny?
Okay. Did Johnny pick Falls Count Anywhere?
No.
No one picked Falls Count Anywhere.
No. Just
Okay,
keep
fair
going.
Tables for Johnny.
No. So Johnny picked a no holds barred match, a street fight.
Okay, street fight.
Street fight. Adam Cole picked a straight up singles match.
What? What?
Yeah.
That's great. I love that idea.
Because he's like, I don't need stipulations to beat you. I beat you in a straight wrestling match before. I could do it again. And Johnny's like, I have a great history in street fights.
Wow, that actually makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of turned me back onto NXT by you just describing.
Yeah, and I don't know what the third fall is gonna be, but I like how they doing this like 3 stages of hell type of thing,
I like that too.
but with the falls count anywhere. Well, not 2 out of 3 falls. So
I like
I'm
that.
very curious to see what the third fall is gonna be. Third fall, I'm gonna throw it to maybe, not a steel cage.
Maybe steel cage. That wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Ladder match.
For what? Oh, and they just suspend the belt right on.
Yep.
All right. Like in the middle of the thing, like they decide. Then Triple H or William Regal comes out and be like, "No, we're gonna take the belt and we're gonna suspend it, and it's now a ladder match. Good luck, boys." And then, they
Yep,
just-
pretty much.
I like that idea.
I'm gonna throw it to a ladder match. I feel like that would be the best one for it. I don't know.
I know. I like the idea. A ladder match, and it's probably going to be the closing of a match. That's a great idea. I like the idea of the ladder match ending.
Because here's the thing: if it's a steel cage, you're gonna already see it.
that's true, but they
You wanna
also
hide
don't know. They also don't know if they're going to have the steel cage already in it. Now, if they have a regular steel cage match at that takeover, essentially, and then they go with a ladder match, would that be a problem?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it'd be a problem. I think it's, I think it's better to just keep it hidden. I'm guessing a ladder match because that's probably the best thing they could do. Because a steel cage also requires setup.
True.
So, I don't know. I'm excited for what NXT is going to put out. It looks like also AEW confirmed for Wednesday Night Dynamite. They had a really awesome trailer. Very excited. And it looks like WWE may put NXT on FS1 to counteract it. And then put 205 Live with NXT in that slot and combine them.
What on FS1 or just as soon as like it's over on the network, go straight to
On FS1.
on FS1. Interesting.
They might put the Cruiserweight division with NXT and make it like a 2-hour show. That's what I've heard.
I don't know if I like that. I like NXT as the 1 hour, and if they wanted to do like an hour and a half on the show instead, I would much rather do that. Mm-hmm. Putting it on FS1 is a good idea, though.
I think putting it on FS1's a good idea. I feel like adding the Cruiserweights to NXT is also a great idea, and I feel like adding more time is a great idea.
Well, I like the fact that it's an hour show. Like, it's easy, digestible wrestling just to like quickly consume. If you start doing that with NXT, adding a division or brand attached to it to make it kind of like subpar.
Yeah, but let me throw this at you. We're going to end with this. So, if FS1 is going to have NXT and 205 Live together, same show pretty much. You know who's rumored to be joining the 205 Live brand?
No.
Daniel Bryan.
Ooh.
Now imagine
that.
that.
I did hear that.
Now imagine that. They're combating AEW with Daniel Bryan on probably the best pure wrestling shows that they could produce. Fully controlled by Triple H, no less.
Now that would actually be real like ratings warfare on that point. I would be very much interested.
There
I'm
you
not gonna
go.
lie. I would be definitely interested. What I don't want, and I hope that no one makes this mistake, because this is what killed WCW. No one plugs in the other show. The other show doesn't exist. That's what I don't want.
You don't want them to.
I want them to acknowledge it in the sense that, you know, I don't know. I don't want them spoiling things that people are going to be rushing to watch, because that's what killed WCW, and that was a mistake. I don't want them doing that. What I want them to do is, I don't know, make fun of it, but don't be too specific about it.
If AEW was going to do that, like spoil, they would have done it already.
That's true. I don't want no spoiling. That's what I think. That's at the end of the day. Spoiling would be a terrible idea.
I don't think they're stupid enough to do that.
I don't think so either. But my concern was WWE doing that. That was my concern.
How are they going to do that when AEW's live?
Oh, AEW is live. Okay, I did not know that.
They already
and NXT won't be live when it goes on FS1.
It might. I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
don't
long
know.
as there's no spoiling going around and none of that, I think it'll be a really good.
And the thing is with AEW, which is really good, they already announced their first location on October 2nd. Washington, D.C., the Capital One Arena.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure that's a WWE.
Yeah, that's where they held the shitty named pay-per-view Capital Punishment.
I feel like they've also held other events at...
Yeah, they probably have held like a Raw or SmackDown in D.C. before.
Yeah.
But that's cool, though.
Yeah, it's very interesting to...
And they're putting on a show with very, I guess, progressive ideals in the, capital of our country. So that's interesting.
It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see that. How that goes. So let's we're gonna see how it goes.
Like we said, so next week we probably won't have a show unless something like
major
big happens.
Yeah.
Which I don't think, depending on what Raw and SmackDown have been going, I don't think is
someone
going to
has
happen.
to die or retire for us to pretty much come back next week.
You're setting a really high bar on that.
Shit, that's probably gonna happen now. That's the worst part of it. Is something's probably gonna happen, just because I fucking said that.
Because clearly they listened to our show because they did the.
So you're saying someone's gonna like injure a guy to retire them, or someone's gonna kill a dude just because I said that's the only way we're gonna get.
I mean,
this
we
podcast
got the wedding spot for the 24/7. I'm just saying.
Everyone got the wedding spot.
But I have to make it funny. Like
I'm
I
just
don't
saying
fucking know.
everyone got that wedding spot.
All right. But yeah, that's our show, guys.
Yep.
So we're sorry we've been kind of like not.
This was a much easier one with no format, just like chilling and talking.
Yeah. So
It's like kind of old school how we just did it. We're like, all right, you know what? We don't need a break. We don't need a main event topic. We just need to just chill and talk.
and vent probably. Like it was some minor venting. It wasn't like a full on rant storm that like
Finn
Joe.
Balor. Finn Balor was my rant.
Well, it was more of a venting because I wouldn't say you ranted. Ranting is like when I'm screaming about the cruiserweights and you're screaming about not Brock fucking Lesnar. You're screaming about Seth fucking Rollins.
Nah, those I
Or
think.
which one was one of your better rants? Just to end the show, which one was probably one of your better rants? Because mine was definitely the cruiserweights. And if they do cancel 205 Live and attach it to NXT, best be known that I will be ranting about that.
Roman Reigns not winning at WrestleMania 31 was.
Oh yeah, that was
Still a hill I'm willing to die on. That was my biggest rant. Like, Seth Rollins was a rant. Finn Balor, I'd say, was a rant / vent.
It's more of a vent because you didn't do like your best one.
Nah, that was
like there was no fucking shits or anything. Like you always put fucking shits in your rant.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut off that, but no, Braun Strowman was just hype. That was
Braun
fucking-
Strowman was hype, but that was
That was hype.
That was
I'd say Roman Reigns not winning WrestleMania 31 was my biggest rant. Because I'm like, just hindsight looking back, so much went wrong with that. So much went wrong with that. Oh,
man, what was it? My first cruiserweight rant. My first real cruiserweight rant. I have like after a full year of like recapping the cruiserweights.
that was bad.
That was a bad one. That one was probably my worst. Best be known that another one will be coming when 205 Live officially closes.
Unless if it gets absorbed by NXT.
Yeah, but even if it gets absorbed by NXT, that still like gives me grounds of like a solely cruiserweight division like really going away.
But what if the Cruiserweight division is still alive in NXT?
But then what was the point of not keeping him on NXT then? Like, I think I'll
Why?
still have
Because
a rant.
they realized they fucked up.
Yeah, but that still warrants a rant, though.
I guess. I guess if you really want to rant about
I feel like I have to because I loved the Cruiserweight so much. I brought up so much hype because I think episode 2 is when we talked about how amazing the Cruiserweights were.
I ranted about Charlotte too.
Yes, you did.
Many times.
Yes, you have.
I'm like, I've had a lot of rants about those two.
Good times. I think we needed. It felt therapeutic to talk about rants.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's a good time to end.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week.
Until next time, Audio Marks. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audio Boom, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Deezer, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, and the Big Three, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. Also, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, our Tumblr page, Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any comments, questions, or feedback. Until next time, Audio Marks.